Welcome everyone back to the third episode of the Babbling Bozos podcast. I am Joey.
And I'm Zach. And today we're going to start with a new topic. Usually we start out with the NFL, but we want to switch it up today. We're going to start with the MLB. We're not doing power rankings today because it's not that long after we recorded the last one.
Still a week.
Yeah, about a week.
We really should do it, but we're not going to.
We're going to do it the next one. We're going to do MLB Postseason Predictions. So I think we'll start with the AL. Would you like to share yours?
I mean, you want me to say all of them?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the division, two of the division winners are pretty obvious, and then you have the Central and the wild cards. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so at 1, I have the Astros. They're going to win, I guess.
Oh, you think they're going to be the top?
Yes, yeah. Okay. The Yankees are I think I saw they were 2-9 in their last 11, which is really, really bad. The Yankees at 2 still because the Central's that bad. The 3 will be the Guardians because the Twins are just falling apart. The Mariners at 4 because they're easily the best wild card, I think. And, the Blue Jays at 5. And then the Rays will scratch it out at 6. The Orioles will not make it. The White Sox will not make it.
Yeah, the Twins will not make it.
Yeah, the Twins are bums, like I said before.
I pretty much have a very similar thing. I just left the Yankees at 1. I feel like they can figure it out between now and the postseason. There's still a good amount of time left. Then I have the Astros at 2 because, I mean, it's really just the Yankees and Astros were battling for that one spot. I mean, they both get buys as long as I understand the playoff format. They both get buys anyway, so wasn't really too concerned with that. I do have the Guardians winning the Central. And then for wild cards, I have Mariners as the top wild card spot, the Blue Jays as the second, and then the last wild card spot, I'm biased Orioles fan, so I think they can squeak in, especially with the young guys hopefully coming up later in the season.
I don't think they're going to get called up.
Hopefully inject some youth and talent into the lineup. So that's my rationale. Also, I'm just biased, so that's what I'm hoping for. Would I be surprised if the Rays make it? No, I do not think the Twins or White Sox will.
I think the Twins could.
I think it's mainly between the Orioles and Rays, though.
I think the Twins are firmly in it.
They have a chance, but I think their chance is more in the AL Central than in the wild card, I think.
Gotcha. Just fixing that mic. Don't mind me.
And then we can move on to the NL. I can go first this time. I have the LA Dodgers finishing as the number 1, followed by the New York Mets. The St. Louis Cardinals, I think, win the Central. And then for the wild card, Atlanta is the top wild card. I think they're still in the race to win the NL East as well. But I think the Mets will hold on. And then I have San Diego in there and Philadelphia. I mean, it's what it is right now. Obviously, the Milwaukee Brewers are still in the race as well. But I just don't think they're going to make it. I just don't think they will.
I don't think there's a point of me reading my list. My list is the exact same. The NL isn't very... I mean, there's a few teams in it that could make it. I guess the Brewers are one.
Milwaukee and San Francisco. I mean, they're
Francisco.
Yeah, they're 6 games back, but everyone else is 10 plus. I mean, they have a chance. There's still plenty of time left, and they're only 6.
I just don't think they have the roster to make
it. I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, in terms of teams that are in the race, they do have a chance.
Yeah.
I think that's it for MLB postseason.
Not much to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like we still have a lot of time, so we just wanted to give our predictions
for the future.
Yeah.
Hey, last year I said that I did a mid-season thing on TikTok, and I said I made the list, and it was of the teams that were relatively in it. The one team I said that had absolutely no chance of making it was the Braves,
and they won the World Series.
So someone came back a year later. It was what do you think now, bud?
That's funny. Okay, so sticking with MLB, but, specifying to our team, the Orioles.
We suck.
So we've just lost 2 in a row against the Rays.
Almost got perfect gamed.
Yes. Last time we said in the stretch we needed to go 5-4. Right now we are 2-3, but one of those games did get rained out against the Blue Jays. So, unfortunately, we did lose to that game to the Red Sox, which I felt like was a big game that we needed.
Yesterday was a big game, and we put out a terrible lineup.
Yeah, I mean Rasmussen is a good pitcher, though.
Of course,
I was kind of expecting.
If you need to win a game, you're not putting Tyler Nevin out there to.
Yeah, well, it's because of Mountcastle being injured. He got hit by a pitch. That's why he didn't play. And there was nobody else that they could put in there.
They could call someone up.
Who?
There's a great player sitting right there, Jordan Westberg.
Who's playing first base?
Westberg
is not playing first base. So we start a series tonight against the Blue Jays. We have 3 against them, then a makeup game against the Cubs, followed by 3 with the Red Sox.
Actually, they were playing Bobber at first, apparently, in practices.
Probably because they need somebody. Because right now we only have one first baseman.
He said that I was watching the after thing yesterday, like you know how they do and he said that they were trying to like get him to play first, seeing how he would do. And he just said
it's worth a shot.
Yeah, he said he was happy to. Anybody can play.
Yeah. Another guy that I would want to see. I don't know if he would be able to, but Santander to keep his bat in the lineup. Because he's not great in the outfield, so if he can, I don't know.
Says the guy who said he was good in there.
I didn't say he was good. I just said
You said he was serviceable.
Yeah.
Until I showed you that he was literally at the bottom percentage outfield.
Usually when I watch the games, he doesn't do anything that bad, but that game in Tampa Bay.
He's always bad in Tampa Bay. I don't know why. I don't think he's good in the outfield in Tampa Bay.
I don't know. Maybe because the roof is white, so he can't see the ball.
I mean, that actually could be a reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was in Baltimore. Was that Phillips that got hit in the face?
That wasn't Phillips. It was
I
think it was Lau.
Oh yeah, it was.
Or Lowe. I don't know how you say it.
There's 2 Lows on the Rays too.
No, I'm pretty sure one of them got traded to the Rangers.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, we have 3 against the Blue Jays.
Very similar teams we're playing again, just AL East.
Starting
tonight. And the Cubs once.
Yeah, Cubs once, and then we have the Red Sox for 3. I'd say in these 7? Yeah, 7 games. We need to go like 5-2.
5-2.
Yeah, to make up for these.
Oh, we are playing the Red Sox.
Yeah, and the Cubs.
I would take losing. Actually, no. Honestly, I don't know. I would take losing 2 to the Blue Jays if that meant we won all 4 against the Cubs and then the Red Sox. Because that would make us what? 5-2.
That would be 5-2. Yeah. So I'd say 4-3, 5-2.
I mean, would you rather go 5-2 or would you rather go like 3-4, but we beat the Blue Jays in all 3?
I'd rather go 4-3, but we beat the Blue Jays in all 3.
I knew you would take that, but I didn't know if you take 4. You wouldn't take 3-4.
No, I would take 5-2 over that.
I think the Blue Jays are playing so bad right now that would be like even if we went 3-4, but we swept all of them.
Yeah,
that would still make up ground afterwards.
I mean, we still have the Rays and I don't know. I would overall
win them all.
Yeah, 7-0. That's what I want. 7-0.
We need another.
It's doable.
Screw the 11-game streak. We need how many games do we have left?
Oh,
no, I want
the whole.
40,
like 40 something. You're not losing again for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we're playing the Astros too and the Guardians later on, so that'll be brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, after the Red Sox, we have the White Sox. Those are actually.
No, we're in a very winnable span.
Yeah, I mean those are, but then just in general, there's big games, not even necessarily like winnable, but they're also the White Sox are still like not dead in the race, so they're still gonna be.
Whatever you say, pal.
What do you mean? They're like the White Sox.
You kicked out the Rays of yours, right?
Yeah, the White Sox are 2 games behind the Rays. They're not out of it at all.
I don't think the White Sox are very good.
I don't think they're great, but they're still in the race.
Yeah, you can be as close as you want, but it's like you said, the Giants are in the race. They're not in the race. They're dead.
I mean, 2 games.
The Giants are actually like their roster's not good enough, and then the other teams that are there are just like actually like really good teams. I guess the White Sox have a better chance, but the Giants, like you said before, the Giants are dead.
Yeah.
Even though they're technically.
I'm just saying we have 3 games with the White Sox.
Of course. I could see us finishing below the White Sox.
I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of games to be played. But I have hope for the Orioles. At least, yeah.
Why'd you kick out the Rays?
Why'd I kick out the Rays?
Yeah. After we just lost 2 out of 3.
Oh, the reason I kicked out the Rays is I could be mistaken, but I think they have a good amount of games against the Yankees. I could be
The
wrong.
Yankees are really terrible right now.
Yeah, but they're still the Yankees, and it seems I don't know.
It's the Joey Gallo curse.
Joey Gallo curse.
That's what they're actually calling it.
I think the Rays have a tougher schedule than us down the stretch, and I also, like I said, it was either us or them, and I
because they just beat our
to
butt.
be hopeful. Like realistically, they probably will get in, but
Them are the Twins.
I wanted to be different from. I knew he was.
You didn't want to have the exact same list.
Yeah, exactly. Even though we had the same NL list, so.
I mean, there's no dodge in that one.
Yeah.
Other than you could have said like the Brewers.
Yeah. I think that's all we have for MLB, and there's really not much to talk about when it comes to NBA or NHL. So
I'm trying to think of a topic on the flight. Nothing in NBA, NHL. Nothing's happened. No one's even signed.
Kadri has not officially signed yet, or at least I haven't seen anything saying he has.
Like none of the other decent players are signed anything. I mean, have you watched any of the juniors?
I have not. Yeah. I've been watching mostly. If I watch anything sports related, it's been preseason
football
or MLB, mostly Orioles. But yeah,
the juniors aren't really that entertaining, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not a lot of guys that I know, and there's really no Penguins, so I really have nothing to watch for.
The teams I always want to watch just play at wonky times, so I'm not watching.
Yeah, that's true. Where is it happening? Do you know? Is it in Europe?
I have no clue. I'm sure it is. I honestly don't know.
I mean, if it's out,
it's either in Europe or Canada.
Well, if it's at weird times, then I'm assuming.
There's just there's games just throughout the day.
Yeah, so then it's probably in Europe. Well, are they early in the morning or late at night?
I think there's one early. I think there's one at 10 or 11 usually, and then there's one. It's spread out 1, 5, 4 or 5, and then one night one. I don't know the exact location.
It looks like somewhere in Europe. Oh, it looks like they're in Canada at Rogers Place, which I think is in Edmonton, and then they also have some in Europe, I think.
I haven't really watched it. I watched part.
Oh yeah, it says in Edmonton, but then I saw something that was in here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I don't really have any reason to watch it, so that's why I haven't really watched much of it. But I think we're just gonna move into NFL because that's what is really hot right now.
Let's talk about the Ocho.
Fantasy. The Ocho.
The Ocho. That the channel on ESPN where they do all the weird sports.
No, I've never heard of that.
You never heard of the Ocho?
No. What are we gonna talk about? Spike ball?
No. It's weird. It's just really weird stuff.
Oh, like chess?
I'm trying to think of an example of
golf. Bowling?
No. Just random things
disc
that
golf?
You would never think are a sport. I guess disc golf would
jousting.
No, not jousting. It could be just rock paper scissors shoot.
Arm
wrestling.
Yeah, I've literally never.
They take all the randomest things and then they put it on ESPN.
Never heard of that.
Who could throw a paper airplane the farthest?
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun channel, Professional dodgeball, they'll put that on there.
Dodgeball's fun.
Okay, we can go to the NFL. One day you should watch that though.
So you want to start with fantasy?
If you want to.
Because everyone loves fantasy football.
We're doing round 2 of Pick or Pass.
Yes, Pick or Pass part 2. I'll let you go first this time.
Or pass. For the intro.
As we explained last time, we're going to name a player and their current ADP, and the other person is going to say whether they would pick or pass them at that ADP. Joey, give me your first person.
I was a little worried that I'm just going to repeat someone you said last time. But
that's what I was.
I didn't have the energy to go back and look.
I didn't look back, but I picked names that were not familiar at all. So, but without further ado, let's get into it.
CD Lamb.
Okay.
13.9. I like how you're going through and looking at this. I'm just thinking of would I take that person at that thing?
I'm just looking at players that are near that.
I don't need to know. I don't need to do all that to know if I would take someone or not.
CD Lamb at 13.9. I mean, yes, Amari Cooper's gone, but I would still pass on that.
It's what? Just so you could just CD Lamb at 13. Would you take? No, I'm not taking CD Lamb. I don't need to look at who's on the list.
I mean, that's ahead of DeAndre Swift, Saquon Barkley, Mike Evans, Debo Samuel.
Heck, I'd take probably
no. I would take Mike
3 of the tight ends before I took CD. I'd take Kelsey, Andrews, probably Waller, Kittle before him.
What about Pitts? I'm pretty sure Pitts is ranked higher. So you're telling me you would take Waller ahead of CD? Because I'm pretty sure Waller's like a 4th or 5th round pick.
I'd rather have Waller than CD. If I'm like just like building my team, I don't really like CD.
Yeah, I don't know. CD's
cool.
ADP has really been very high. I mean,
Kamara's is flying up.
He does have potential to be. I mean, he's got really not a lot of competition. I mean, they did.
But that's an issue, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. They don't really have another option.
Who else are they going to throw the ball to?
Yeah, I mean, they have Dalton Schultz, and then they do have Jalen Tolbert, and Michael Gallup's going to come back eventually. So that's the guy they drafted.
Yeah, I know it is. I know.
Yeah, so I mean,
okay,
there's other guys. Oh, I was just gonna let you go.
Okay, 2. Alvin Kamara, 29.2.
Yeah, I'm drafting him at 29.2.
Yeah, that made no sense to me.
No, by the time we draft his ADP.
Yeah, we did this. It's off of Underdog, and I don't know why they haven't changed it. It's like every other site has them at in the teens at least. Even if it's in the teens, I'm taking him because they say he's not going to be suspended until next year,
unless there's news that comes out saying he will be suspended this year. At 29, it's a no-brainer. I think I would take him as high as if there's guaranteed he's not being
first round pick.
He's early first. I mean, he's like a top 5 pick. I mean, unless you're taking a receiver, but I'm saying, like I said before,
no, there's still other 5 guys I'd rather have.
In home leagues, I know you know what that means now. Yeah. In home leagues, running backs are always going to go early, so I think he's a top 5 pick in home leagues.
Why do they call it a home league? Because that's your home.
It's your home friends, I've
never heard that other than from you.
Yeah, it's common. But wait, so who would your top 5 be over him?
I'd rather have
running backs.
Oh, I'd rather have him than CMC actually. Okay. He'd be 5. Because I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor. I'd rather have Eckler. I'd rather have Najee. And then, I guess Dalvin, CMC, and Derrick Henry are kind of all in the same boat to me.
We can, I would give my top 5, but I feel like we can do that for another segment.
And then Kamara, wait, where did I put Kamara? Kamara would be 4 or 5. Yeah, I guess he'd be 4 because he's the only one that hasn't. I guess he got kind of hurt for a little bit, but he hasn't had that big injury like the other guys. So he could. But his offense, honestly, he could be more useful. Isn't Jameis their quarterback now?
Yeah, Jameis was last year too, but he got injured. I actually really like the Saints this year. We're gonna get into. We're gonna talk about the NFC South later too. So I'll just wait on that.
My third guy, Josh Allen, 31.
I'm not a huge proponent of early quarterbacks.
That's why I wanted to do it.
31, that's like a late second, early third?
No, that's an early third. That's a mid third.
31.
Yep, because remember 24.
24.
Oh, no, that's a second. No, that's a third. That's a third. I was right.
Yeah.
Because 24 is the last second.
It's a late third.
It's a mid third.
Oh, yeah, it's like a mid to late
It's
third.
like literally right in the middle. 30 is in the middle. 31 is obviously.
I would say I could understand why somebody would pick.
I know my answer.
But personally, I would pass because, there's good quarterbacks you can get later in the draft. I'm not a huge proponent of taking.
Oh, I'm passing by a mile.
Unless it's like a super flex league. But other than that, I'll pass.
I'll pass by a mile solely because my next person, Patrick Mahomes, is 51.9.
Yeah.
You get him 21 picks later.
I guess people are just worried about Mahomes without.
So are you picking or passing him at 52 technically?
I'm not huge on quarterbacks that early. I mean, I
at
guess
52,
if he falls to be
fifth?
there and there's
it's like a 4th or 5th. It's like an early 5th, I think.
I have to qualify this by saying, like I've said before, it depends on how my draft is going, who's available, who I think will be there with my next pick. So value-wise, yeah, I would pick him at 50.
I think if you go in the strategy, you're prioritizing running backs. You get those early. There's so many receivers deep in this draft this year. What I've been looking at it.
Yeah.
I would definitely pounce on a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, Lamar.
Yeah, I really like
Kyler.
Lamar. Lamar is I think in the 60s. Yeah. Actually,
Jalen Hurts, any of those guys, if you can get them in the 5th or 6th, there's just so many good receivers that you could hit on that could change your league.
I do like taking quarterbacks late. Last year, I got Brady pretty late, and that was that turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I mean, you have guys like Cousins or Derek Carr you get late who are going to put up 20 a game, 20 a week, which will work. I mean, it really just depends on your strategy. I usually typically don't take quarterbacks super early.
I have.
But, yeah, I mean.
That's why he never wins.
If Derrick Henry was healthy, I probably would have won. And also, if Antonio Brown didn't,
Would you like to show us what he did?
And they all know what he did. Okay.
Okay, Allen Robinson at 44.7.
44.7. I'm actually gonna look at who else is in that range.
I can easily tell you names
because
I know who's in the range of the 50s, so I know what I'm doing.
I really do like Allen Robinson this year, but ahead of Deontay Johnson. I mean, I think that's
no. Just look at who's in the 50s.
I mean, I know D Hop's there, but I know people are projecting.
Brandon Cooks was below him. DK, George Kittle. You get David Montgomery,
to be fair,
Chris Godwin.
Seahawks don't have a quarterback. To be fair,
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. DK's DK. He's gonna probably get the ball more now.
I'm just saying, they don't have a great offense.
Well, I'd much rather Brandon Cooks than Allen Robinson. Yeah, that's easy.
I don't know, but remember how good Robert Woods was last year before he got injured? Like, he was very good.
Yeah, he was really good, but he wasn't better than Brandon Cooks.
Allen Robinson is a very talented player. I mean, he kind of, with the Chicago Bears, it was kind of rough. He's never had a real quarterback in his career. He's never had a good quarterback. Who's the best quarterback?
What teams has he been on? He's been on the Jags. And the Bears, is that it?
I think that might be it. Yeah, he's never really had a good quarterback.
Jeez, I had to sneeze for forever.
He had Blake Bortles and Andy Dalton, Mitch Trubisky, and then Justin Fields, and that's in that Matt Nagy offense, which is pretty bad. But
I rather have Brandon Cooks though.
I think I would pick at that ADP.
Brandon Cooks or Allen Robinson? Who you picking?
Brandon Cooks or Allen Robinson? That's actually tough. Brandon Cooks is the number one receiver, but that's a horrible offense.
Doesn't matter. Because last year he did amazing.
Did he do amazing?
Yep. Got over 1,000 yards receiving.
Where did he finish?
I think he finished top 20 receivers. He had to. He had 1,000 yards. He was getting 15, 16 a week for Trey.
Now you've piqued my curiosity.
Brandon, hey, I've seen this other places. Brandon Cooks, he's one of the steals of the 5th or 6th round. He's been over 1,000 yards for the past 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, and
nobody talks about that.
Davis Mills is not as bad as people.
It's just the routes he runs. He can run big routes and he will. Yeah. But he's really good at slants, stuff underneath, the quick outs, things that you get yards, and then he'll break it upfield.
Yeah, he's always been a speedy guy too.
And he's a really good red zone target too. He gets open. He's kind of like Hunter Renfrow in that way. He just gets open.
You've convinced me. I'll go with Brandon Cooks over Allen.
The choice. It's really down to this. Would you rather go with someone who technically is more consistent, but he could fall off technically because he's done 6-7 years in a row now, Cooks. Or would you like the boom, which is Robinson?
Or honestly, see, for me,
safety or boom.
For me, Robinson has the better floor because the Texans could just lay an egg any given week. But I think with that offense, Allen Robinson,
say the floor for a week, but the floor for the season, I think Cooks' floor is higher. Just because obviously he's proven it for 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call for me. That's why
they're two very similar players.
They're in the same range.
I think Cooks is too low, based on what he's done.
Cooks is very good. He's been good for a while. He's pretty underrated. Oh yeah, I do have Cooks on my. I honestly forgot.
We talked about Cooks a lot.
Yeah, I'll just skip him when we get to it.
We talked about him enough though.
Yeah,
you don't need.
Yeah. Now you're seeing mine though. So.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because now you can think about it.
I'm not. That's the only name I saw. Okay.
So final answer for Allen Robinson. ADP value, I'd pick. I'm not basing it all on who's around, even though I've done that for the other ones. So.
Your turn.
Oh, is that the last one?
Yeah, 5.
Okay, so I only have 4 because he had Brandon Cooks and
we talked about him a lot. We both said our opinions. Yeah.
So first is AJ Brown, ADP 27.3, wide receiver 11 off the board. Pat.
I don't like AJ Brown that much. That's just like
if I'm looking at
if I'm a fan of AJ Brown, actually you said 27.3, right?
Yeah, his ADP has fallen because before
I was going to say that's a really
he was going early second.
That's kind of late for him. Like, I mean,
or late second.
If I'm someone who likes AJ Brown, it's an easy pick.
For me, it's more of just the Eagles' offense. They're a run-heavy team, and then you also got to remember they have Devontae Smith and they have Dallas Goedert. I don't know. That's not a big deal, but
it's blocking the screen.
I know, but I don't know. It wasn't really that.
It's on the screen. No. Technical difficulties.
That's gonna be really bad for headphone users. You might want to put a warning there.
Don't worry, I will.
Or just
AJ Brown 27.3. I would never pick AJ Brown myself, but if I'm someone who's trying to be smart, I'll pick him there. For me, pass. Someone who's trying to do well, pick.
Yeah, I mean, wide receiver 11. That means he's a low end wide receiver 1.
And I think he could do very, very well. So,
but yeah, like I said, there we go. That Philadelphia offense is not. They don't throw the ball a lot. So, and he has competition.
So, would you pick or pass? You pass? Is that what you're saying?
I'd probably pass. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Deontay Johnson, 46.2, wide receiver 22.
I feel like this is just like a replica of AJ Brown. Like they're like the situation. Their quarterbacks. Well, no, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He's good enough. But
and this is way lower.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't. I think you still pick Deontay Johnson at that point. That's really low for Deontay Johnson.
Put some respect on his name. You saw what he did last year.
Yeah, I don't think he'll fall that far in our draft by any means.
The only thing with Deontay Johnson is they do bring in George Pickens. They do have a slightly, question mark at quarterback. Whether it's going to be Pickett, Rudolph.
Yeah, but you got to think of the routes he runs.
Yeah.
He's the safety valve.
Yeah, no, he's definitely the wide receiver 1 in the offense. And they do have Claypool still and Fryer.
They play to get him open.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I would pick him at this ADP too.
And now if we're talking like Claypool, I'm not going to pick Claypool anymore. Like I liked Claypool before, but now I don't like him because the quarterback situation.
And Pickens definitely gonna. I think Pickens is gonna be good. I think he's kind of a sleeper this year.
I agree with that. I don't necessarily think he's a sleeper. I think he's like a pretty common.
Well, I'm saying like he's not like an early round pick.
I mean, none of the rookies are going to go that early, other than maybe like the running backs. But people aren't too bright for picking those running backs that early.
Yeah, Breece Hall like in the 4th.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
No Jet goes in the 4th. Come on now.
I'm skipping Cooks because he said we discussed Cooks a lot.
Pick, pass.
Yes, we're going to go to Tyler Lockett.
Pass.
101.1, wide receiver 48.
Pick. 101.
He had to wait till I said his ADP.
101, geez.
I mean, I know it's Drew Lock, but it's Tyler Lockett. I mean.
I don't know about that, actually, he's like a deeper route runner, too, though.
He's definitely a boomer bust flex guy or like bye week throw in.
This is another situation where I don't think I'd pick him myself unless someone really twists unless you guys are like really letting him fall.
Yeah. But he's also a guy like at 101, he could be your wide receiver 3 or 4. It's not bad.
He'd be, you know how I pick wide receivers. He's my wide receiver 1 at 101.
I don't know if you're going to find many better than him at that range.
Okay, so I'll pick him at that at 101. If it's like 70s, I'm not picking him. That's way too early.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Last but not least,
pass.
Yeah, he already saw it. Devin Singletary at 101, running back 34. I was curious. He's actually going ahead of James Cook, which kind of surprised me. But yeah,
I like James Cook. I honestly I was big on Devin Singletary when he first was a rookie, and he was pretty decent then. But I don't think he's that.
I mean, he's a talented player. Like he gets ball and he gets
space.
I was gonna say he gets the ball in space and he can make a play.
Fumble,
but the issue also is like I just don't know how much of like a prototypical like running back.
It's a weird offense for running backs.
Yeah, but I think
with him, Moss, and then
I think Cook probably has the best potential to do something like fantasy wise. But if I really in redraft leagues, I really don't want anything to do with that Buffalo backfield. Being honest, I think that wraps it up for pick or pass.
Pick or pass.
So we will move on to IRL NFL.
Let me get my list up.
Today we're going to be discussing the AFC and NFC South.
Are we going with the AFC?
Let's start with the NFC.
Yeah, because we went AFC last week.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we did.
You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first this time since you went first on pick or pass.
Okay, give me 4.
At 4, I have the Atlanta Falcons. Worst case scenario 3-14. Best case scenario 6-11, which I honestly think might be kind of generous. I'm not a big fan of the Atlanta Falcons this year. I think they're going to be pretty bad.
I said the Atlanta Falcons at 4, and I said their best case is 6-11, worst case 5-12. Now, I don't think Marcus Mariota, he's a quarterback, yes?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to last very long. I think it's going to be him for like 4 weeks. Probably going to get hurt some way. And then Desmond Ridder is going to come in and he's going to do meh enough to win a few games, but he's still not like flashing anybody else. Like, he's not making anything like crazy happening, but he's going to win a few games. And they get to play the Panthers twice. And they still have a really easy schedule because of the teams they play. Because they came in last year too.
No, but they play. I'm pretty sure they play the AFC West and they play the. I think they play the NFC East.
Oh, that's good for them.
But the AFC West is tough.
Yeah. But I still think they can win like 5 games.
They played the NFC West actually, so.
They're not winning against NFC
Yeah.
West. But I'm still saying they can win 5 games somehow. I believe in them. Their defense is terrible, but I believe.
Yeah, they have a chance. I mean, I think 5-12 is realistic. I think 3-14 is a possibility. That's my minimum. But yeah, I also just want to say I think Marcus Mariota is kind of overhated.
I don't think he's that bad.
I don't think he's that.
I just think the situation is really terrible.
Yeah. But I mean, they do bring in Drake London, and you still have Kyle Pitts. I think Drake London's going to have a good season this year.
Okay, on to my third one. Okay. Ping pong back and forth. Carolina Panthers, obviously. The other 2 teams in the division are very good compared to these 2. Best case scenario for the Panthers, 7-10. Worst case scenario, 6-11. Baker's going to be their starter, I think.
Baker or Darnold. I'm assuming it's going to be Baker, but
I'm pretty sure they were trying to trade Darnold, and nobody wanted to take on his contract.
Yeah, I just know technically they're competing.
And this is another team that's not going to be very good. So, I mean, they could win some games. I feel maybe I was being generous with 7-10. Who knows? They're going to be just as bad as the Falcons. They're probably going to be a little worse, but who you got? I know who you got, but what do you think?
I have Carolina also, but I think I was a little bit higher on them. I think minimum 6-11, maximum 8-9.
Slightly higher.
He said generous at 7-10. I don't think that's too generous. I mean, I know Baker hasn't been great, but he's shown that he can have good seasons. I mean, his rookie year, he was pretty good. And they have a lot. They actually have some talent on that team. Their D-line is pretty good. You got Brian Burns, and then they have another young guy.
I don't know nobody on the Panthers.
I forgot his name. He's a D tackle out of like Auburn, I think. That was a while. That was like a couple of years ago.
I honestly have no idea who you're talking about.
But yeah, you still have DJ Moore on offense, CMC if he's healthy. Derek Brown. I'm just talking about Derek Brown. And they also got Matt Ioannidis as well. So I think their roster is not great, but it's not awful. Like they're a team I expect to be hovering around 500, but ultimately finish below.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I'll move on to my number 2 team in the NFC South, which is the New Orleans Saints. Minimum, I think they're going to be 9-8 and max 11-6. They did have a pretty big offseason. They bring in Tyrann Mathieu. They bring in Jarvis Landry with a healthy Jameis. I mean, and if Kamara doesn't get suspended, that's a pretty big piece. You also get Michael Thomas back. They draft Chris Olave. So I think they're a pretty solid roster, and their defense is still pretty good too.
Okay, I said the Saints as well. The best is 12-5. Worst is 9-8. So pretty much basically said the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to add about the Saints. I think they could do well. I don't think they're going to win the division by any means.
They're definitely a contender to get in a wild card spot.
Yeah. They could be a good wild card team. Their defense is really good, as you said. So, I mean, that's going to be really important how good their defense is, because Jameis at times can be a little turnover happy.
They do have some weapons on offense.
Good Jameis can be very good.
Yeah.
When he's making good decisions. So as they can hope for that. And at 1, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Best case scenario, 14-3. Worst case scenario, 11-6. Will Tom Brady be good again? Probably. I don't really have much else to say other than that. The defense, they're just the same team.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay, I also have them at 1, 14-3 max, but I have them 12-5 at minimum. I mean, this guy Tom Brady. Look at the last 2 seasons; he's insane.
Trash.
We're gonna rank our top 10 quarterbacks after
Trash.
this. So I was looking into Tom Brady's past couple seasons in Tampa Bay, and what he's been able to do at this age is pretty insane. Like aside from the quarterback position, like before Brady gets there, I mean, like before you even add in Brady, they're one of the best rosters, top to bottom, in the NFL with Brady. I mean, they're. I think honestly, Brady just saw the state of the NFC because I remember he was going to retire,
And he
just saw the state of the NFC, and he's like, "Oh wow, I have a chance for another Super Bowl. I'm coming back."
Who's the other teams in the NFC even?
That are contenders?
Cowboys technically, Eagles technically, the
Eagles
whole
are
NFC
not
West.
Not the whole NFC West. It's the Rams.
Cardinals too.
Cardinals are.
Cardinals started off really hot last year.
Yeah.
You got to remember they were good.
I know they were, but I'm
Niners.
I'm not big. They don't have a quarterback.
Who? The Niners?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like Trey Lance?
I just haven't seen enough of them yet.
Oh, the Niners. Watch out. I think they could win the division.
They have a good roster.
You know, we should stop talking about the West.
We're going to
next
preview
week.
next week.
Bad. We're talking about the West.
Well, we were just kind of talking about who's competing in the
sneak
NFC.
peek.
Yeah.
And who's got the Packers.
Yeah.
But they're going to lose in the NFC Championship. So
if they make it that far.
No
Adams.
They'll lose in the NFC Championship.
No Adams.
They have Watson. Christian Watson. That's a rookie wide receiver.
Okay.
Next, go. And they got Al Lazard, Equanimous St. Brown,
Robert Tonyan, Aaron Jones,
Is Tanyan's probably still not going to be back for a while?
No, he is back. He's
really?
Yeah.
Didn't he tear his ACL or something?
Yeah, but I think it was like middle of the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how is he back already?
I don't know.
If the Ravens players who just like before camp, they just get back.
I don't know, but he had his fantasy stock is the same, so I'm assuming he's good. He'll be good to go.
Okay, let's go on the AFC South. I'll go first this time.
Go ahead.
First one. Houston Texans at 4. Best case scenario 5-12. Worst case scenario 3-14. The Texans are very bad. I have nothing else to say about them. They're just really bad. Their defense sucks. Oh, they got Derek Singletary. He could be fun to watch. Other than that, go ahead.
I have the Texans at 4. Minimum 4-13. Maximum 6-11. I think Davis Mills
6-11. That's generous.
Yeah, I think Davis Mills can make some plays sometimes. He's not bad. They still have Brandon Cooks. Also, that rookie running back they have, Damian Pierce. I think he'll be solid for them.
I think they didn't change the issue they had last year though, which is that
their defense.
Yeah, they would score like 20, 30 points in a game and they'd lose just because they get like 40 scoring on them.
Yeah, no, their defense is horrible.
They did get Singletary. That helps, but one corner is not going to fix a glaring issue.
So I guess I'll say my third team, Jacksonville Jaguars. I do think they will improve. Mm-hmm. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to improve this year. So I think Jacksonville minimum 5-12, maximum 8-9.
Oh, I have the Jags at 3-2, but I said their minimum is 5-12 and their max is 7-10. I still don't think that their defense is quite good enough, even if Trevor Lawrence does play a lot better. I think they'll be in like the same boat as the Texans, but they're still a slightly better team than the Texans. It's just they're not going to be able to do enough. It's going to be like the Ravens when we didn't have Lamar. We were always in the games, never won the games. They won a few, but they should be decent. At number 2, I have the Tennessee Titans. Best case scenario 12-5. Worst case scenario 7-10. I think the Titans are easily the most, I guess the word volatile team. Like they could go one way or the other, like the way their roster is.
Large range of outcomes. Yeah, I agree with that. I also have the Titans at 2. Max 11-6, minimum 7-10. So kind of similar rankings, I think.
We're very similar this week. No differences.
Not
very obvious divisions.
Yeah.
We got one.
I have the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, that was the only team left. Minimum 9-8, maximum 12-5. I really like their roster. I mean, they upgrade their quarterback as well. I think Matt Ryan is probably one of the more underrated quarterbacks of his time. I mean, I know he did get the MVP. Should have got a Super Bowl, if we're being honest. They kind of threw that game away, but
I had the Colts at 1-2.
Yeah.
minimum 10-7, best case scenario 12-5. I've seen people saying that they think the Colts are like a sneaky Super Bowl contender.
I can see it. I mean,
because this is easily the best defense Matt Ryan has ever had for
probably
his team.
One of the better O lines too.
Yeah, better O lines. The receiving core is not
is solid. I mean, you have Michael Pittman. You have T.Y.
Yeah, but you had to think about who Matt Ryan had at his peak.
Yeah,
Julio
and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
But they still have and they still I think Paris Campbell is actually
it's good.
And you still have Jonathan Taylor. Naheem Hines is a talented guy too.
I think the biggest thing is that defense is actually like very good.
Yeah,
so
Darius Leonard.
So they can afford to have like a few mistakes.
Yeah.
Because the offense is already like
they have DeForest Buckner too, right?
Yeah, DeForest Buckner is freaking amazing.
He's very good, yeah. So
we were like one game apart each one for our things, whether that be the best or the worst. That's the first time that's happened.
Yeah. So sticking with IRL NFL content, we thought it would be fun to do a new series where we rank our top 10 of each position. This week we're going to start off with the quarterback. Would you like to start 10-1, or do you want to start at 1 and go to 10?
You got to go 10-1.
All right. And do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Do
you want to go whole list?
Nah, we'll ping pong back and forth.
Okay.
So at 10, I have Kyler Murray. I like Kyler. I just think that he's one of those quarterbacks that really rides like the hot wave, you know? Like when he's cold, he's like ice cold. Like his team struggles quite a bit. But I mean, when he's playing well, he's definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And he's I don't love Kyler, but I think some people would have him higher than I do. But who you got at 10?
I do not have Kyler Murray on my list. I'm just going to say that right now. I do have 2 honorable mentions. Kyler Murray was
I don't
want
to hear your honorable mentions. Get out of here with those.
I personally don't like Kyler Murray that much. Like, I think I think he has potential. He's got all the talent in the world, but like, I feel like he folds. Like, he just folds.
I feel like that's not fair.
But anyway, I'm just gonna give quickly the 2 guys: Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr.
Kirk Cousins folds.
Yeah, but
he's known as the primetime choker.
That is true. That is true. I'm saying like last season, he had a great year.
Yeah, how can you have Kirk Cousins as an honorable mention and tell me that?
Because everyone knows.
Literally, the man who is known as the choker.
The reason why is because people don't talk about Kirk Cousins. They just say he sucks. But Kyler Murray, everyone loves Kyler Murray.
I love him.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying most people.
Derek Carr is cool.
I
thought you said Derek Carr.
Yeah. Kyler Murray. Yeah, Kyler Murray is a good player. I think he will be top 10 in the future.
I think Derek Carr will be in top 5, but definitely in yards.
Yeah, I mean he was
with the offense. Yeah,
Derek Carr was.
I think he'll probably be first.
He might be. I mean, they have the weapons.
That doesn't mean I think he's the top 5 quarterback.
I didn't do this based on statistics. It's based on whoever
plays. Just because you throw the most yards does not mean you're the best.
Mean, just like you look at teams who suck, they always have the most passing yards because you're in garbage time losing. You got to throw to get back in the game.
It's true. It's like when we beat the Colts and Lamar threw for like 400 yards.
Well, that was different. That was like coming back though.
Yeah, but we had to throw the ball because we were down.
But he also just played amazing.
He did. Okay, who's your
number 10? I have Dak Prescott. Okay. He's one of those guys. I think he can do it all. I mean, he's a scrambling guy, like improvising. I'm saying he can improvise.
And he stay healthy.
Any of the throws. I mean, he stayed healthy last year, didn't he?
He did, but it was like sometimes he like tweaks sometimes.
Yeah, but and he played great. I mean, he had around close to 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, only 10 picks. I mean, I just think he's a underrated guy. I like him a lot. I think he's very good. I have him at 10.
So normally we would ping pong like you do 9 here, but my 9 is Dak, so I'm just going to say 9. My 9 is Dak Prescott. I agree. I'm a big fan of Dak Prescott. He's one of the people that I said was going to be very good out of college. I usually don't get it right, but I got him right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dak's very good. I think there's not that big of a difference between any of these. Like I guess like
when you get to the top
8 to 10 is like a little lower than like 7-1 in my opinion, but
yeah.
It's definitely a higher tier, but they're all very good quarterbacks. So.
Yeah, all the top 10. And I think when I get higher, you can flip-flop guys. And that's why it's probably better to do like a tier, like over just a ranking, because it's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah. We could do tier lists.
We could.
So just give me your 9 and 8 now.
9 and 8. Okay. For 9, okay, I know this might be kind of controversial, but I had Russell Wilson at 9. Last season, he had 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. I think He was hurt, if I'm not mistaken. He
Russ?
missed. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure he missed
I think he
time
got
due to
hurt.
injury.
I
A
think he
couple, a
did.
couple games.
Yeah, I remember he hurt his finger. He was throwing the ball and he like throwing it.
Yeah. But I didn't solely base this on just last year, but I mean, Russ has been very successful. This past season, they did have good skill position players. Like you have Lockett and you have DK, but that offensive line has been pretty bad for most of his career there. And just like in general, Seattle this past season had a pretty not good roster, just like top to bottom. So I'll move on to 8. I have Matthew Stafford at 8. He won the Super Bowl last year. Statistically speaking, was very good yardage wise, touchdown wise. He did have 17 interceptions.
I would say he did what he's supposed to.
Which was a career high at 17 interceptions. But on the flip side of all the accolades, he did have a very talented roster. Like that Rams roster was amazing. He also had Cooper Kupp. And they brought in Odell towards the end. They have a great scheme, like their running game.
Yeah.
And before Robert Woods got hurt, they had him too.
Was 17 really his career high?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think that
17.
That makes sense though, because he's definitely had the ball more than he's ever had in his career.
Yeah.
As a Lion, the other team always had the ball.
Yeah, but then 17 is a pretty high amount of interceptions.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's the highest amount on this top 10 that I have.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody else had more than 17.
I mean, it's not good, but like they had the ball quite a bit.
But, I mean, he also had 41 touchdowns.
Yeah, so I mean,
solid ratio.
I had Matthew Stafford at 8 as well. I think he just did what he was supposed to do. Like he came in and played the way they expected to when they traded for him. Didn't they give up multiple first-round picks for him, or was it just one?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember.
They gave up. They got him because they figured he could take that offense and make a Super Bowl champion out of it. He did just that. So
I mean, he has a very talented arm.
I mean, he's always been very good.
Yeah, he can make all the throws. So
at 7, I have Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar has a lot to prove. I think he is still a very, very good quarterback. When I say he has a lot to prove, I don't mean he's not like obviously he is very, very good. It's just like, can he just like keep doing it? I think I'm someone who asks that about any quarterback. I know some people ask that about Lamar just because they don't like Lamar for some reason. But like, can Tom Brady keep doing it? Can Aaron Rodgers keep doing it? Patrick Mahomes is probably the only person I'm not going to ask that about because I think he's just like one of the greatest quarterbacks around. Can Josh Allen keep doing it? He popped off last year. Had arguably
no, not last year. The year before.
Josh Allen?
Yeah,
Josh Allen was goated last year.
He was good last year, but he was better the year before. No, I looked at the stats.
Really?
He was better.
All I know is he was very good last year.
He was very good, but he was better.
It's all these people, can they keep doing it? I think Lamar is very, very good. Can he come off the injury and be what Lamar was in, I guess, 2020, 2019, both those years? He was very good. So, yeah. Who you got?
I'm debating whether I should just touch on what you just said about Lamar or wait till
you get to it.
I'm just going to preface my next 3 by saying they're kind of all interchangeable. But at 7, I have Justin Herbert. Yes, he had over 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, completion percentage around 66%. The reason why I have him at 7 is because no playoff berths in his career. They had a chance to make the playoffs last year. They have a very talented roster, top to bottom, skill position.
Is he second year quarterback last year?
Yeah, second year. And I'm just like looking at what the guys above him on this list have done, and it's hard for me to rank him above them. Yeah, like I said earlier, statistics are not necessarily everything in terms of individual. I mean, yes, they play a big role, but would I rather have the guy that you put him in the lineup and he brings your team up to the playoffs, or would I rather have the guy that puts up insane individual numbers, but there's really nothing to show for it? So yeah, that's why I have Herbert at 7.
Who's your 6?
At 6, this is going to trigger some people, I think. But like I said, he could probably be ranked higher. I wouldn't fault anybody, but I have Joe Burrow at 6. Great season last year. Unbelievable, phenomenal season. 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks, 70% completion percentage is unreal. Super Bowl appearance. Great team, specifically offense, skill position was amazing. They have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. O-line was awful. I will say, if you ranked him above Lamar, I wouldn't fault you. I just didn't. I couldn't personally
His
rank
bias.
him. My bias would not allow me to rank him above
I'm not a biased fan.
above Lamar. But I mean, I think Lamar has had some great seasons as well. So I don't think it's completely.
Well, I personally
insane.
think that Joe Burrow could end up being number 2 on this list at some point. I don't think Lamar will ever be my 2.
I wrote in my notes, if he replicates that season, he could be 3, 4, maybe 2, maybe 1. If
I think Patrick Mahomes is 1 still. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, I don't care. Patrick Mahomes is still my 1. In terms of like what Mahomes can do, he's always going to be 1. I know we're jumping ahead.
Although Burrow does, you do have to look at the team that he has, like the roster, the offense he has around him.
This year he's going to be scary. They have a good O-line now.
Yeah.
Okay, so my 6 is Justin Herbert. I think it's a little unfair to say you got like you're saying about how say he hasn't made the playoffs. So you'd rather have a guy who has proven they can do that. Well, I mean, he didn't do anything to not do that. I think I saw he threw 15 interceptions, 14 interceptions. That's not that many at all. Like that's still, and he threw 38 touchdowns. He's playing to win. It's just that
I'm not saying it's all his fault, but I'm just saying like I think there's a whole like I know this is gonna like kind of derail our segment, but I don't really care. People always talk about, can Lamar do this? Can Lamar do that?
That's all his basis of anything.
But I'm saying
Lamar.
nobody ever talks about the other quarterbacks. Like
but like he did it.
Framing. What did Herbert do?
What did he do to prove that he wasn't good enough to you?
Bro, I put him at 7
in the
entire NFL.
No, but I'm saying like you say he's got to like prove it. Like he didn't do anything to not prove it. Is my point. Like he played extremely well.
Okay, Lamar played extremely well. Every year he's been healthy, they made the playoffs. Herbert has never made the playoffs. Better receivers, better running back.
I mean, I agree with that. So I mean, like, so are you saying if Lamar's in that offense, Lamar's making the playoffs?
Yes.
I strongly disagree.
So you're saying if you switch Herbert and Lamar,
I don't think Lamar is that much better than Herbert, so I don't think it's going to do anything.
I'm saying you switch Lamar and Herbert. Right?
Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be the same outcome.
So you think Ravens do better with Herbert than Lamar?
Not with Greg Roman as our offensive coordinator.
Okay, well, you ranked Herbert above him, so
I think that that makes no logical sense.
I'm just saying
because you have to look at.
Like, I'm just saying. I'm using your logic. I put Lamar.
I think Lamar would do far worse in the Chargers offense.
I do not think so.
Because I think our offense is built around Lamar. That you'll always see that. The Chargers offense is clearly like it doesn't make sense that not apples to apples.
No, but I'm saying I think Lamar can do what Herbert can do, but Herbert cannot do what Lamar can do.
Our many Ravens followers, subscribers, all we have are gonna hate me for this, but I don't think that's accurate.
I don't think they're gonna hate you for this. I just think that
I just don't think they're apples to apples. You can't compare them like that.
I think Lamar can make all the throws, and I think he's a dual threat guy. Well, I mean, I think Herbert is probably.
Can Lamar make the throws though?
I think he can. I've seen him do it before.
But
I think
statistically speaking, he hasn't.
I think it's the offensive scheme that's holding him back. That's my personal.
In the middle of the field. You're right. Lamar has made all the throws, but on those boundaries, he can make the throws. But statistically speaking, those are his worst areas.
I mean, every quarterback has their strengths and weaknesses.
Of course, but I mean, anybody can throw the ball down the middle.
He's capable of hitting the out routes. They just
drop the ball.
First of all, they don't. There's the issue of talent. I mean, you're talking about Mike Williams and Keenan Allen versus Rashad Bateman and James Prochet.
Hey, we had Hollywood.
Okay. But last season, Lamar didn't play the whole year, and Rashad Bateman barely played when Lamar was healthy. So
I suppose. What am I on now? I'm on 5. I said Herbert 6.
Did I give my 6? Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You gave me your 7 and 6.
Who was my 6? Oh yeah, Burrow.
Yeah, you gave me 7 and 6, and now I'm going to give 6 and 5. So my 5 is Joe Burrow. I just think, like I said, I think Joe Burrow will probably be like a top 3 quarterback eventually. And last year, you can't look at what he did and then rank Herbert or Lamar, in my opinion, above him because, I mean, he made the Super Bowl in his first go, and his O-line was absolutely terrible. That matters a lot. His wide receiver group is easily tenfold. What?
He wasn't a rookie last year.
No, I didn't say he was a rookie.
You said his first go. You mean like first playoff appearance?
It was his first go because he was injured his whole first year.
All right, okay.
I mean, unless you want to count the season he didn't really play.
He played like half the season, right? It was 7.
It wasn't.
Well, that roster was pretty bad.
Yeah. But my point is, it was his first real season, in my opinion. Like he got to play the whole season, and like he said, I think 5, 6, 7 are all they're very close together. I think Burrow has the highest potential. I think Lamar is the most like crazy to watch. Like he's like make amazing plays at any moment. So I would say that about him. Herbert and Joe Burrow just kind of do what they need to do and aren't gonna. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like Lamar can individually win the game at any moment.
I think Lamar's biggest issue is consistency.
Yeah, at Lamar's best, he can win you any game at any moment.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow, I think, can just always he's always going to be that guy who's just making the throws he needs to, and that may not be enough sometimes. Like if they're playing a team that's playing better than that day, but like he said, Lamar's consistency, can he be like that, like against the Colts when he popped off?
But the thing is with Lamar, if you look at that Colts game, like the first half of that game,
he wasn't good in the first half,
and then he comes back in the second half, and I think Lamar's just, in my opinion, yes, biased Ravens fan, but I think he's the most like entertaining player in the NFL to watch.
I'd say second for me.
Who's first? I'm just out of curiosity.
Probably Mahomes. Like when he's doing all like that. Like sidearm, freaking throwing it across the field crap.
I would just say Lamar just because of the like explosiveness of his running and like he can still make plays.
I think they're like a 1A, 1B in my opinion.
But that brings me to my number 5, which is Lamar Jackson. Yes, I am biased. I will admit it. Would I have an issue with you ranking Joe Burrow above Lamar Jackson? No. Justin Herbert, I don't. I couldn't at this point. I mean, statistically, sure, you can talk about statistics, I guess. But, I mean, God, Lamar Jackson. I know people will say, playoffs every year as a starter when healthy.
Boom.
Actually, even his rookie year, he was he brought the team to the playoffs when they were under 500 when he came in.
I think we were like barely. It was like we're one goal.
Yeah, one game. Yeah. But yeah, 37-12 career record. Held the team together through the injuries. Like everybody was injured pretty much, and he was I think like 8-3 or 8-4.
8-3.
Before he got injured. He's a dual threat guy. If he didn't get hurt last year, he would have hit another 1,000 yards rushing, which would have been 3 years in a row rushing for 1,000 along with his like probably close to 3,000 passing. He was on pace for a career high of passing. The reason why I would be okay with ranking like Burrow above, and honestly, I mean, if you're judging it based solely on last year, then okay, I could see Herbert above him as well. But like, going into the season, I can't put Herbert above Lamar. His touchdown to interception ratio was not great last year, 16-13. But the thing I will say about Lamar, like Joey said, he's one of those guys that can win you any game. Like he can come in when the team's having a bad day and kind of just like explode, like make the offense kind of explode. Like you saw it in the Vikings game. There was a lot of comebacks last season. Even if he's playing bad to start the game, you always have a chance, like if he's your quarterback. I mean, look, that was the narrative too. He can't come back. But then last season, they were down big to the Chiefs. They were down big to the Vikings, the Colts. They come back in all those games. And the Chiefs, he was playing like horribly in the first half. He had the pick 6. He had like 2 picks early in the game. And then
the Lions came back too.
Lions, yeah, that was kind of an embarrassing game, though.
Well, no, the Lions game I blame on Hollywood. He dropped 2 easy touchdowns.
That's true. Yeah, we could have put that game away in the first half. Yeah,
and I mean, the Chiefs game, you could technically say he didn't succeed at coming back because he failed. Lamar failed on the drive prior to what was it? Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbling.
I don't remember, to be honest. But
he scored after that.
No, he didn't score after the Clyde fumble.
We did.
No, we didn't.
I thought we got a field goal.
We scored to take the
lead.
That
just ended the game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they had the.
Did we take a field goal to the lead? Because we won by 3.
No, we scored a touchdown. It was 35-30. And they scored a touchdown, went for 2, didn't get it.
Yeah.
The Chiefs game though, what was I gonna say? No, the fumble like saved us because they were gonna be able to just drive down and get a field goal.
Yeah.
So I'll just move on to my number 4, Josh Allen. That's my number 4. I think he's like Mahomes light in my opinion. Like he can do anything. He can do almost anything Mahomes can do. Yeah, I mean,
he's white Mahomes.
That's not even what I meant. That's not even what I meant. LITE. Don't even take it like that. But yeah, back-to-back years over 4,400 pass yards, 35 plus touchdown passes, almost 1,200 rushing yards combined for the last 2 years, plus 14 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 seasons combined. You could argue he's top 3, but his interceptions go up from 10 to 15 this past year. So that's the reason I have him at 4. I kind of think the top 3 are kind of solidified. But yeah, Josh Allen is my number 4.
Okay, my 4 is Tom Brady. I just think that obviously, I think the top 4 are all on the same level in my opinion. You just look at what Tom Brady's done with the Bucs, and it's been amazing. Everyone was saying he was going to be terrible, honestly, after he left the Patriots, how old he was, but he's been Tom Brady the whole time. So, I mean, there's not much to say about him other than Tom Brady is Tom Brady's the GOAT. Unfortunately, it makes me a little sad to say that, but he is. And then,
let me just give my 3 because I have Brady at 3 too.
I mean, no. It makes more sense if I say my 3.
How?
Because I have Josh Allen at 3.
When I had, okay.
Because it didn't flip back.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Josh Allen at 3. So he is Brady at 3. So we flipped the 2. Okay. So I have Josh Allen at 3. Everything he said about Josh Allen. Now go to Brady.
Okay, Brady. The reason why I have Brady over Allen, every year, this guy is 45 years old and he's still coming back. So yeah, I mean, he's the GOAT.
Crazy.
Unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say it, he's kind of put those system quarterback narratives to bed. I think a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's going to suck in Tampa Bay because he's a system quarterback." But I mean, back-to-back seasons with over 4,600 yards, over 40 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions. This past season, he threw for over 5,000 yards with a over 67% completion percentage.
I assume our 2 and 1 are the exact same.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you just say both of yours.
2, I have Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs. I mean, he's Aaron Rodgers, probably the most in terms of talent, probably the most talented until Mahomes, obviously. But Aaron Rodgers probably the most talented quarterback ever for now. Until Mahomes takes over, which is my 1 and probably his 1 too.
Yeah, it's my 1 too. There's not much to say about them too.
Yeah, I think they're the consensus 1 and 2. And Mahomes is a guy that can just kind of do it all. Like, I mean, he's like sneaky, elusive too, and can kind of move, like run too.
I feel like some people could say that they think
Rodgers.
Brady. I don't know. I feel like people could say Brady or Allen or like at a 2 or a 1. I feel like it's possible.
Yeah,
I said, the top 4 is just all very similar.
Mahomes is consensus 1.
I agree with that.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, yeah, I could see them interchanging. And then for me, my 5, 6, and 7, I think Herbert is probably the lowest out of Lamar, Burrow, and Herbert, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8, 9, and 10. I feel like there's a lot of guys who are like around the 8 to like 12 range that can all be in that mix. But yeah, so for that reason, I think probably a tier list
is better.
But this is kind of fun because you kind of have the argument about the places. So
I feel like this is like one of the few positions that there would be an argument.
Yeah,
because of your feelings about Lamar Jackson.
Well, I don't know because maybe. But
I don't see any other positions that are going to be.
I don't know because some of the other positions like you have stats. But it's hard to rank. It's hard to rank when you're not just saying who had the best statistic season. Like just because you had the most yards doesn't necessarily mean you're the most talented player.
I suppose.
So you can still have some differentiation, So
I think are we done with NFL now?
Yeah. Do you want to do the your 4 players?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're just gonna pull out the handy dandy stopwatch.
You're telling me mine, right?
Yeah, because mine are gonna take.
And your screen recording, yeah.
I will
make sure you screen record it. Blue 42.
Oh, I accidentally clicked calculator. That's not right. I wanted clock. Stopwatch. Okay.
Just the screen recording. Yeah, you are. Okay, cool.
Ready, set, go.
NFL.
No.
NBA.
Yes.
Oh, geez. Eastern. East. Sorry,
No.
East. Not the East. West.
Yes.
Playoff team.
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nuggets.
No.
Lakers.
No.
Clippers.
No.
Suns.
No.
They
They were like
Grizzlies.
No.
Wolves.
Yes, Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. Cat.
Yes.
Carl Anthony
29
Towns.
seconds.
29?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna give you extra seconds too, because did the Timberwolves make the playoffs or no? They might have been a play-in team.
I did. They were.
They were a play-in team.
Yeah.
Did they get in though?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I only know they were because Pat Bev was talking all that rah-rah.
Okay.
I think they did make it, and then they got whacked
by the Lakers.
No. The Lakers didn't make the playoffs at all.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It was either the Suns or I think it was the Suns who beat them down. Someone beat them down.
I just know
I think it was the Suns that whooped them.
I just know the Suns got whooped by the Mavericks. Actually, they didn't get whooped. They lost like 7. But now I'm curious to see.
I don't know. I'm pretty positive they made it, and then they won in the play-in, and then, or maybe they lost in the play-in. Pat Bev was talking a lot of rah-rah. That's all I remember.
They lost to the Grizzlies in 6.
That was in
the opening round. So that means they got in the play-in.
Because the Grizzlies were the 2, I think.
Sure. Full disclosure, not a big NBA guy. I will get into it.
I was watching the playoffs. Okay, you can go to the next one.
I was watching deeper in the playoffs, not early. Okay. Ready, set, go.
NHL.
Yes.
Wow. Eastern Conference.
Yes.
Metro.
No.
Atlantic. Okay. Bruins.
No.
Red Wings.
No.
Senators.
No.
Lightning.
No.
I can't think of any teams in the are they a playoff team?
No.
Oh no. Sabres.
No.
I think the Canadians are.
Yes.
They are?
Yeah.
Canadians.
Yes.
I don't know any players on the Canadians. Carey Price.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was your guess. It was 30 seconds. Okay.
The Canadians are in.
They were the worst team, I think.
The Hurricanes are in the Metro, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The Hurricanes are the team I always get confused, like which one they're in for some reason.
Yeah, they're in the Metro.
Okay, you can go.
Okay.
Next one.
Ready, set, go.
NFL.
Yes.
AFC.
Yes.
North.
No.
South.
No.
East.
Yes.
AFC East. Patriots.
Yes.
Mac Jones.
Yes. 12 seconds. You're crushing it. All right. Ready,
okay,
set, go.
NFL.
No.
MLB.
Yes.
I don't know the names of the conferences. The
AL or NL?
AL.
No.
NL.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Oh, the NL East. The Phillies.
No.
Mets.
No.
Braves.
Yes.
Acuna.
Yes.
Dude, whenever we do this, I fold and I can't think of the conference names of the MLB every single time.
Yeah, I remember last time you said East.
I fold every time.
Okay. So I think the last thing is the cards. Yeah. That's the fun part. Is that
okay? So we can each just get a box.
That's it, right? There's nothing else.
Yes. Next time I want to react to the top 100.
Okay.
Justin Tucker made it. I'm just gonna say it now. Justin Tucker is the GOAT of kicking. Screw Adam Vinatieri. So I'm happy he made it.
You think Justin Tucker should be a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay.
He has the longest kick.
We're on the same
highest percentage.
Yeah.
Fastest at 300.
We're on the same page on that.
I mean, he leads every stat. So like, why would he not be? Adam Vinatieri is a Hall of Famer too. Obviously.
Yeah. The only thing with Vinatieri is the longevity and like the clutch kicks.
Yeah. But I mean, Justin Tucker just hasn't had the chances. But yeah, I think that's all we have. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you on our next podcast sometime later this week or next week.
If you if you really liked, subscribe and comment what you want to see. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.